Hello, one and all. Lallie Napier coming to you from the Matcha Bay Provincial Wildlife Area and Wetland Restoration Project. I'm totally not reading that off of a sign. I wanted to talk today about definitions and labels because an awful lot of things going on in my world right now are all about defining what is going on so we can better treat it and better understand it. I am currently doing a course through online college, and it is, what is it called? Pharmacology for concurrent disorders. Sorry, I've walked about 12 kilometers today. I'm pretty tired. So I'm doing this course, and one of the things that we were asked to discuss or debate with each other was how to define addiction. Is addiction a choice? Is it a disease? How do you define addiction? And my definition for addiction is a little different from other people's that I've seen, heard, and participated with, because my definition is it's a symptom. Addiction is a symptom of a mental illness, great stress, great strain, great trauma. It is a symptom, and it needs to be treated like every other symptom. You need to take responsibility for your actions while you are under the influence of that symptom, and then integrate that as part of your personal experience so you have the strength and the ability to then move on from it. And that's what I found with my bipolar treatment. While I was still under the influence of bipolar disorder, before it was diagnosed, before I knew what was going on, this was 34 years of my life. As soon as I got diagnosed, the first dozen times I saw my psychiatrist, it was nothing but weeping over what a horrid person I had been, every choice I had made, every decision I had made, every path I had taken, that caused me and people around me and people I loved more strife and more hardship. In the 12-step programs through AA, for example, most of the steps have to do with accepting the choices you have made, accepting the behavior you have exhibited, and making up for some of that behavior, apologizing and making recompense to people you have harmed, without causing any further harm to yourself, of course. But it's the same type of thing. And bipolar disorder is a disorder. It's not a disease. This is not something that I caught because I drank puddle water when I was 5. This is something I was born with. You might as well say being gay is a disease, because it's how you're born. This is just who you are. I happen to be a person living with bipolar disorder, but now I'm living with bipolar disorder, whereas before my diagnosis, I was bipolar because I wasn't living with it. It was me. The real Alex was buried under nothing but symptoms and problems and difficulties. So, when it comes to addiction, I don't see addiction as a disease. I understand using the disease model to treat addiction because it removes all of the responsibility of the person with the disease of addiction, so they don't have to be responsible for everything and they don't have to go through all of that emotional strife of recognizing their own behavior and feeling bad about it and then making it better by saying I'm sorry and meaning it. But by the same token, if you happen to be a person who is recovering from alcoholism and you suddenly have absolutely no responsibility, like somebody just snaps their fingers and says, okay, you have no responsibility for anything you did while you were drunk, that doesn't cut it. That's not the truth. That's not how it works. Everyone is responsible for the choices they make. You do choose to put a bottle to your mouth. You do choose to go to the liquor store to buy the alcohol that you then drink. You do choose to drive when you probably shouldn't because it takes a long time for that much alcohol to work its way out of your system. Those are choices, and you have to recognize the choices that you have made, and you have to recognize the damage you could have potentially harmed even if you didn't do it. You have to recognize that, oh my God, that was a bad idea. So I don't see alcoholism or alcohol addiction specifically as a disease. I don't see it as a choice. I see it as someone trying to drown their history. And what you need to do more than anything else, and take it from someone who's been sober for 2.5 years, I'm speaking from a place of knowledge, personal knowledge here. You need to accept who you were. You need to accept the mistakes that you made so that you can integrate them into who you are and they no longer fight with you every day. Because as long as they're fighting with you, you want to bury them in booze. So you need to accept all of that. You need psychological treatment. You need counseling. You need outside help so that you can integrate all of those bad feelings that you're constantly trying to drink away into who you are so that you can live the rest of your life in peace and alcohol-free. Food for thought. Feel free to comment on this. I know that my take on it is rather different from a lot of people's. So be honest, be truthful. And I look forward to hearing your opinions on this. Do you see addiction, alcohol, drugs, food, sex, whatever the addiction is? Do you see addiction as a disease, a choice, a symptom? Let me know what you think. I look forward to reading your messages and responding as quickly as I can. Until next time, folks, take care of yourselves and each other.